Continue, no? So, tapos na natin yung committing a felony. No? Tapos na tayo dito. Tapos na tayo dun sa from that which he intended, no? O ngayon, let's tackle na yung mistake in the identity, mistake in the blow, at saka itong result exceeds the intent or yung tinatawag na praetor intentionem. So, isa-isahin natin. Mistake in the identity, no? It happens when the offender intending to injure a person actually inflicts injury to another person because he wrongfully identified the latter as the former. Okay? Hence, lack of intent to kill the deceased, no? Lack of intent to kill the deceased because he intended to kill the other does not relieve him of criminal responsibility. Why? No? Why ganun, no? Why? Because of Article 4. No? Kahit sabi niya, hindi ko naman po ini-intend na patayin si A. No? Si B ang ini-intend kong patayin, sabi ng accused. No? Tama ba yung meritorious by defense na yun? The answer is no, because of Article 4. Okay? Lack of intent to kill the deceased because he intended to kill the other does not relieve him of criminal responsibility. Kasi pasok eh. Diba? He is committing a felony. Ano yung felony na yun? Yung pagpatay niya doon sa totoo niyang gustong patayin. Although yung wrongful act, ano yung wrongful act? Yung napatay niya ibang tao, it was different from what he intended. Ang ini-intend niya, intend to kill, yung gusto niyang patayin. Diba? Pasok eh. No? Okay. So ngayon, no, correlate na natin no, sa mga latter provisions ng Criminal Law 1. What's the penalty for mistake in the identity? Yan po yung Article 49. Okay? Penalty to be imposed upon the principals when the crime committed is different from that intended. Tandaan po natin itong Article 49 sa mistake in the identity lang to. Okay? Mistake in the identity lang. Iba po ang penalty provided by criminal law for mistake in the blow at saka yung praetor intentionem. Iba po. Okay? So ano ang penalty prescribed by law for article for mistake in the identity no under article 49? If the prescribed penalty for the crime intended is lesser than that for the crime committed, no? The former shall be imposed in its maximum period. Next is if the prescribed penalty for the crime committed is lesser than that for the crime intended, the former shall be imposed in its maximum period. No? So, gawin natin example. No? Kaya pa ba? Hindi na kaya. Okay, ganito. An illustration is A intended to kill his neighbor during nighttime. Dito na lang natin lagyan. However, he was able to kill his father, thinking that the latter was his neighbor. So, was criminal liability incurred? Yes. No? What's the crime committed? Parricide. Diba? For killing, no? An ascendant. Diba? Pinatay niya kanyang ascendant. Pinatay niya kanyang parent. Diba? Kasali po sa parricide dyan. Hindi siya murder, hindi siya homicide. Mas matindi pa. Parricide. O ngayon, what's the penalty? Diba? For the crime committed? Was criminal liability? Yes. As provided under, ayan, kulang ulit. As provided under Article 4, RPC. Ayan. What's the penalty for the crime committed? The penalty is reclusion temporal. Why? Diba? Papasok po siya sa number 2. The prescribed penalty for the crime committed is lesser than that for the crime intended. Anyway, pareho ng reclusion perpetua yan kasi murder to eh. Kill his neighbor during nighttime. Probably may treachery yan. Diba? Anyway, ito palang facts na to. Wala naman tayong sinabi na may treachery. Di rin naman natin sinabi yung kung may qualifying circumstance. No? So, homicide to reclusion temporal. No? So, assuming reclusion temporal to. No? Tapos itong parricide, reclusion perpetua. Anong sabi ulit? If the prescribed penalty for the crime committed is lesser than that for the crime intended. Ay, okay. Ang ini-intend pala niya, patay niya neighbor. No? So, sa number 1 pala tayo papasok. If the prescribed penalty for the crime intended, ayan, is lesser than that for the crime committed. Okay, dan tayo. Ano yung nakumit niyang crime? Napatay niya yung tatay niya eh. Parricide. Ano yung ini-intend niya na crime? Homicide lang. Kasi kapitbahay, wala namang relationship, di ba? Ano daw yung penalty to be imposed, no? The former shall be imposed in its maximum period. Pag sinabing former, para sa mga first year, yung una sa dalawang bagay. No? Crime intended sa crime committed. Pag sinabing former, it corresponds to crime intended. O, yung crime committed, ang tawag dyan, latter. Okay, so yung former ang i-impose in its maximum period. So, the penalty is reclusion temporal in its maximum period. Why? Papasok po natin ito. If the prescribed penalty, yan, no, for the crime committed, yan, okay. Ngayon, question, paano kung ini-intend niyang patayin yung tatay niya? Pero ang napatay niya yung kapitbahay niya. At saka po tayo papasok sa number 2. The prescribed penalty for the crime committed is lesser than that for the crime intended. Ulit, the former shall be imposed in its maximum period. Ibig sabihin, yung nakomit niyang crime, ano yun? Napatay yung kapitbahay. Lesser yun sa ini-intend niyang crime. Kasi yung intention niya na crime, patayin yung tatay niya. Mas matindi yun, di ba? Parricide, yung isa naman, homicide lang. So, ano yung may impose na penalty? The former ulit. The former shall be imposed in its maximum period. Gawa natin ng example, no? Para hindi na natin, hindi na tayo mahirapan. Ayan. Copy-paste lang, baliktarin natin. An illustration is A, intended to kill his father. Ayan. During night time. However, he was able to kill his neighbor. Ayan. Thinking that the latter was his father. Okay. Same questions, no? Was criminal liability incurred? Yes. Article 4. By the way, pag sumagot pala kayo dito, wag ka agad kayo didiretso. Sabihin natin, mistake in the identity yung itsura ng tanong. Wag po agad kayo didiretso sa in mistake in the identity or error in persona. Wag kayo didiretso agad doon. Dapat ang paniwalang legal basis nyo, yung Article 4, Paragraph 1. After saying that, at saka nyo sabihin further, no? Discovers mistake in the identity or error in personae, which is defined as, at saka nyo sabihin tong, when the offender intending to injure a person actually inflicts injury to another person because he wrongfully identified the latter as the former. Sa kanya po sasabihin yan. Pero ang initial na legal basis nyo, Article 4, Paragraph 1 dapat. Okay? Supplemental itong mistake in the identity. Kasi ito ang nasa revised penal code eh. Wala ka nang makikitang error in personae no, sa revised penal code. Kaya dapat yung supporting yan. Ang main mo ito. Kaya tinuturo ko na kayo. Ngayon pa lang, tinuturo ko na kayo paano ang tamang pagsagot pag mga ganyan. Kasi yung mga ganitong tanong, lay up dapat yan eh. Lay up, no? Ang hirap nung alam niyo naman yung sagot, di niya nasabi lahat. Sayang naman yung inaral. Di ba? Okay. So, ulit tayo dito, no? An illustration is A intended to kill his father during nighttime. He was able to kill his neighbor, thinking that the neighbor was his father. Walang latter. Huwag na yung mga latter, mahirap yan. Thinking that his father was the neighbor. Ayan. Okay. So, in this case, no? Was criminal liability incurred? Same answer. Yes, as provided under Article 4. What's the crime committed? No? Ano po yung crime na na-commit? Homicide lang. No? For killing the neighbor. No? What's the penalty for the crime committed? Same po. Penalty is reclusion temporal in its maximum period. Why? Iba dapat tong nandito, iba ka-copy-paste natin. Yung second paragraph dapat. No? If the prescribed penalty for the crime committed is lesser than the crime intended, di ba? The former shall be imposed in its maximum period. So, reclusion temporal in its maximum. No? Okay. So for those who will avail of the exclusive feature, makakuha nyo itong 100 page something, 100 plus to na reviewer ko. Maayos na to, updated na in everything. Okay? O next time, mistake in the blow. No? Aberratio ictus. No? How does mistake in the blow happen? It happens when the offender intending to do an injury to one person actually inflicts the injury to another. Ano pagkakaiba ng mistake in the blow sa mistake in the identity? Sa mistake in the identity, nag-inflict ng injury to another person because of wrongful identification. I-capitalize pala natin to. I-bold yan. Okay. Itong isa naman, it happens when the offender intending to injure another actually inflicts the injury to another lang. Yan lang. Very basic. Wala yung element na due to wrongful identification. Wrongfully identified, the latter as the former. Walang ganun. Dito lang actually inflicts the injury to another. So an illustration is A intended to shoot B. Due to lack of precision, he shot C, causing his death. So basically, barilan. Dahil po sa hindi ganun ka-precise, bumaril si A, no? Tinamaan yung nasa likod si C. What's the penalty for mistake in the blow? Article 48 po. Ang mistake in the blow po, complex crime yan. Okay? Complex crime. Why? Because a single act of shooting, the blow. A single act of shooting or blow, kasi mistake in the blow, produced two or more grave or less grave felonies. Okay? In such case, the penalty of the most serious crime in its maximum period shall be imposed. So, lagyan natin dito. Baliktarin natin. Ito yung example. So, ang tanong, di ba? Is criminal liability incurred ulit? No? Isa-isahin natin, yes. It's provided under Article 4. Okay. What's the crime? What's the crime committed? No? Ang crime committed po is complex crime of A intended to shoot B due to lack of precision. He shot C, causing his death. Complex crime of homicide and attempted homicide. O, di ba? Kakaiba, no? Yan ang crime dyan. Kasi ang i-picture po natin yan, parang barilan nga sa barilan sa movie. No? Binaril na ganun ni ACB, pero hindi tumama yung bala kay B, tinamaan nyo na sa likod. So, ang nangyari po kay B, attempted homicide yun. O yung napatay sa likod, consummated homicide. Kaya ang tawag dapat dyan, complex crime of homicide and attempted homicide. Kasi single act lang po, isang bala lang yun, isang kalabit lang. Diba? O ngayon, what's the penalty? Natutunan agad kayo guys, no? Especially sa mga first year. Hindi pa kayo familiar dun sa mga latter provisions like yung mga Article 48, 49. Pero ngayon at ngayon pa lang, nakita nyo na yung angulo. Di ba? Nakita nyo na. No? What's the penalty to be imposed? Di ba? Ano sabi ulit? Most serious crime in its maximum period shall be imposed. Ano ba yung most serious crime sa dalawa? Homicide o attempted homicide? Sa homicide. Diba? Reclusion temporal again. So, what's the penalty to be imposed? Reclusion temporal, no? In its maximum period. Why? Ayan. Because the penalty of the most serious crime in its maximum period shall be imposed. Simple, di ba? Dapat ganyan kayo mag-illustrate. Hindi kailangan kasing complicated, kasing tindi ng mga example sa case. Kasi nga ang case, you're supposed to read that after you understand, no? After you understood the caudal. Okay? Hindi dapat kinagbabasa ng kaso, unang-una. Hindi porket 20, 30 cases yung inassign sa inyo ng prof nyo, yun ang una nyo babasahin. Kasi mag-aaksaya lang kayo ng panahon. Nag-aaksaya kayo ng panahon doon. Kasi hindi nyo pa naman alam kung ano yung dapat yung basahin doon sa case eh. Hindi nyo alam kung anong article yung topic dyan. So you need to understand the article first. And you can do that by yung talagang cherry on top dyan. Yung talagang alam nyo na. Pagkaya nyo gumawa ng mga simple illustrations like this. Once you can do this, that's the time when you read the cases. Okay? You cannot do that sa simula. Kasi ang kayo ng oras. No? Hindi nyo rin mako-comprehend, no? Ma-absorb ng 100% yung case. No? Yan. Occlusion temporal in its maximum period. Why? Because no, the penalty, because the penalty, because the penalty is the most serious crime, because the penalty of the most serious crime in its maximum period shall be imposed as provided under Article 48. Nakita nyo ha, pag mistaking the identity, isa lang. Isang crime lang po ang nakomit, homicide lang. Or parricide in this case kasi pinatay yung magulang di ba? Tapos yung penalty, Article 49, no? Ito pong aberratio ictus o yung mistake in the blow, complex crime yan. Complex crime of, ang tawag po dito, ayan, compound crime ang tawag dyan. Yung first type of complex crime, ang tawag dito, compound crime. Lagyan natin dito. Because a single act of shooting, produce two or more, shooting, mistake, blow na lang, sige, blow na lang. Like ano dito, compound crime. Open close parenthesis. Compound crime yan. So in such case, the penalty of the most serious crime in its maximum period shall be imposed. Okay. So ayan po ang sagot, no? Okay. Next tayo na praetor intentionem, no? So the result exceeds the intent. Ito yung usual example for Article 4. Kasi talagang yung madaling gawa ng example, no? Madaling gawa ng example at saka ito yung pinakamadalas na nangyayari in real life. Yung result exceeds the intent. Pinakamadalas yan, no? So an illustration is when A punched B, no, nearly intending to hurt him. However, B hit his head on a pavement causing his death. In such case, A is liable for homicide. Okay? So why, no? Why? Diba? Because of Article 4. Okay? What's the crime committed? Sorry. Wait lang. Tanggalin natin ito. Yan. Is criminal liability incurred? Diba? Criminal liability incurred. Yes, no? As provided under Article 4, no? The Revised Penal Code. No? What's the crime committed? Homicide. No? Again, what's the basis for this? Article 4. No? Kaya homicide ang tawag. Kasi criminal liability is incurred although the wrongful person committing a felony. What's that felony? Physical injuries. Although the wrongful act, what's the wrongful act? The death of B is different from that which he intended. What did he intend? Merely to injure B. Diba? Merely to hurt B. Okay? So what's the penalty? The penalty provided for homicide ay reclusion temporal. Diba? Okay. Ano po yung mga ano natin dito? Ayan. Balik ko sa taas dito. Ay, tapos tayo. Yan dito. The penalty the penalty prescribed by law. Yan. For praetor intentionem is that provided for the result. Diba? Is that provided for the result produced. The penalty for prescribed penalty na lang. The prescribed penalty for praetor intentionem is that provided for the result produced. Okay. So, another pa, no? Any person who creates in another's mind an immediate sense of danger, no? Which causes the latter to do something resulting in the latter's injuries is liable for the resulting injuries, no? So, dapat, no? Ano ba yan? The person creating, no? The person who created in another's mind, no? An immediate sense of danger must be committing a felony, committing a felony at the time, no? That he created the same, yung sense of the time he created the sense of he created the time he created the sense of danger. Example, hold up. No, yun yung example dito yung people versus tolling na yun ang hold up sa jeep, tumalon yung tao, namatay no pagtalon sa jeep. Homicide ang crime doon, may homicide yun, no? May homicide. Okay? Or pwedeng ano yun, actually, special complex crime yun, attempted robbery with homicide yun. Pero later on na lang yun sa crime 2. Attempted robbery with homicide. Yeah, attempted robbery with homicide yun. Hold up, ganyan, no? Okay. So, paano kung yung, ano, yung nag-create ng sense of danger, hindi naman siya felony. No? Hindi naman siya felony, no? Yung pag-create ng danger, ano ba example niyan? Sabihin natin, oh, kapag, sabi dyan, kapag hindi mo binayaran yung utang ko, iahabla kita. Hmm. Dahil doon, ano nangyari? Inatake sa puso si B. Let's just say, gawan natin ng example, no? Example, isa, ito yung first muna. Tried to rob B, no? In a while riding a jeepney, A and B were riding a jeepney, no? A tried to rob B. However, B jumped from the jeepney to avoid being divested, yan, of his personal belongings. However, okay. Okay. However, B jumped from the jeepney to avoid being divested of his personal belongings. B hit his head, no, on the pavement. Yan. Or after jumping, B hit his head on the pavement, causing his death. Okay. So, question is, what's the crime committed? Special complex crime to. Special complex crime of attempted homicide with, attempted homicide. Attempted robbery with homicide. Okay. Robbery kasi, nag-attempt na mag-rob si A. Hinold up eh, no? So, why is there homicide, no? Because of Article 4 ulit. Because criminal liability for special complex crime of attempted robbery with homicide is committed by a person committing a felony. What's that felony? Attempting to rob the person. Although the wrongful act, what's the wrongful act? B's eventual death is different from that which he intended. Ang intention lang naman niya, magnakaw. But then again, special complex crime po tayo. No? Pero later on na lang to, no? Medyo. Anyway, at least nakita niyo kahit paano na picture niyo, no? Pero ito, crime to ng mga topics, yung mga attempted robbery with homicide na yan. Okay? Sige. Next tayo, no? Example ulit. Ayan, sabihin natin, A threatened, no, to sue B. No? Because B was, ano ba? Because B never paid his, ano ba, debts to A. Because of, ano ba? Because of the threat of A, B suffered a heart attack, causing his death. Did A commit a crime? None, no? No. Because threatening to sue a debtor is not a felony. Diba? Although, siyempre, yung wrongful act, ang naging wrongful act na nangyari, yung pagkamatay ni B. Even though it was different from that which he intended, ang intention lang naman niya, to habla, to sue. But then again, hindi po committing a felony ang pagpananakot, no? Hindi naman pananakot, pero yung pang-tetrete, no? Tinetrete niya yung tao na hiyahabla kita pag di ka nagbayad. Ano masama doon? It's his right, di ba? To pursue his claims, di ba? Ang ganda nga, legal niya pinopursue, di ba? Hindi niya binubugbog. No? Okay. So next tayo, no? The intentional felony must be the proximate cause of the result. No? Ito na yung proximate cause, no? Another pa to. Kasi, ano po yung usual, no? Wait lang, before this, no? Why why will the topic of proximate cause, ayan, or how will the topic of proximate cause be asked, no? In the examinations? It will be asked, no? by showing facts, no? Wala. Wala. How will the question regarding proximate cause be asked in the examinations? It will be asked, no, by showing to you, no, a set of facts, no. It will by showing to you by it will be asked by testing you by testing you if you know the difference between proximate cause and efficient intervening cause. Showing you if you know if ayan, the wrongful act is still the proximate cause of the result, or there's already an efficient intervening cause, no, that is foreign yan, from the wrongful act. Okay. So bakit po ganon, no? Kapag kasi meron ng efficient intervening cause, yung wrongful act, hindi na po siya mapapunish dun sa naging eventual result. Okay? Yung wrongful act tuloy, yung felony. Sorry, mali. Yung felony, wrongful act nga pala yung resulta. That's a synonym, no? Yung sabihin natin, may efficient intervening cause na that was in between the felony and the eventual result. Okay? Meron na efficient intervening cause. Yung felony po na yun, yung tao, yung offender na nag-commit ng felony, hindi na po siya mapapunish doon sa naging eventual result. Ipapunish nyo na lang siya kung ano yung felony na nakomit niya. Okay? Kung ano yung felony na nakomit niya. No? Hindi mo na siya ipapunish siya, eventual result. That's why, yung ganyan po kayo tatanungin sa proximate cause. Kung hindi naman ganun itsura ng facts, hindi nyo na kailangan sabihin to. No? So how will the question regarding proximate cause be asked in your examinations? It will be asked by testing you if you know, if, tagal mo to, if you know whether, yan, di pala wrongful act, whether the felony committed by the offender, yan, is still the proximate cause of the result, no? Or there's already an efficient intervening cause that is foreign from the, di pala wrongful act, no? Felony committed. Yan. Okay. Wrongful act is yung result nga pala. Tandaan yan. Okay, nalito din ako. Wrongful act is synonymous to result. Okay? Although the wrongful act be different from that which he intended, the wrongful act is synonymous to the result. Yung felony, yun yung kinumit ng offender. Yung intention, yun yung inintend lang niya nung kinumit niya yung felony. Yung wrongful act yung ano may naging eventual result. Okay? Sige. So what is the meaning of proximate cause? No? Pinapa-define to lagi. Pero hindi naman kailangan. Okay. Is that which in the natural and continuous sequence. Natural and continuous. Natural, no? Walang artificial. Continuous, hindi nasira. No? Unbroken by any efficient intervening cause. No? That's why you need to define what is an efficient intervening cause kasi sinabi po sa meaning ng proximate, no? Produces the injury and without which it would not have occurred. No? Meanwhile, what's the meaning of efficient intervening cause? It's an active force. Ayan, that intervened. Okay. Between the felony and the injury, and the active force is absolutely foreign. Kaya nabanggit ko pala dito, no, foreign. An efficient intervening cause that is foreign from the felony committed. Okay. So, ano yung mga keyword na kailangan nyo tandaan, no? Na kailangan din natin intindihin? Natural and continuous. Pag sinabi mong natural, hindi siya artificial, no? Hindi pala artificial. Hindi natural, hindi artificial ang ano nito eh. Ang parang synonym. Hindi yun ang context ito. Ang natural, ibig sabihin yung, let's see, a synonym for natural. Synonym. Common. Ayun. Natural is synonymous to common, no? Proximate cause is the cause, hindi kasi dapat that to eh. is the cause. Ayan. Which, ayan, in the common and continuous, tuloy-tuloy na sequence. Ito ay na walang nag-break na efficient intervening cause. Capitalize, bold din natin to. That cause produces the injury. And kung wala yung cause na yun, the result would not have occurred. Is the cause which in the natural and continuous sequence, natural is common, continuous, tuloy-tuloy, sequence, unbroken, hindi naputol, hindi nasira, yun, hindi pala naputol, hindi nasira ng isang efficient intervening cause, nag-produce ito ng injury, at kung wala itong cause na to, hindi po nangyari yung resulta. So, ang ano po dyan, ito talaga, dito mabibreak yan, ito ang pamatay dyan sa proximate cause, yung efficient intervening cause na yan. No? What's the meaning of efficient intervening cause? It is an active force, no, that intervened between the felony, ayan, sabi ko nga, yung wrongful act, and the injury, yung result. Natin gawing injury, sabihin natin, produces the, well, injury na lang, sige, produces na injury, and it is absolutely foreign from the felony. Active force, it intervened between the felony and the felony, at saka ano isa, felony and the injury. And the active force is absolutely foreign from the felony. Di ba? Eggshell, or egg-skull doctrine. The doctrine states that the unexpected frailty, no? Ibig sabihin yung pagiging frail, pagiging parang may frail sa Tagalog. Mahina, yan. Pagiging mahina ng isang tao, yung pagiging mahina ng isang injured person is not a valid defense to the seriousness of the injury caused to them, no? Bihin natin, sinuntok ni A yung matanda. Normally, suntok naman na yun, dapat hindi nakakapatay. Matanda eh. Ano nangyari sa matanda? Di namatay. Sinuntok. Inatake sa puso at na-excite masyado. Siyempre, nagsuntukan eh. Nakamatayan. How would you answer? Pasok po yan sa egg-skull o eggshell doctrine, no? The doctrine says that the unexpected frailty, unexpected frailty of the injured person is not a valid defense as to the seriousness of the injury caused. So, tatlo, no? Unexpected frailty, not a valid defense, saan? Sa seriousness. No? Okay. Pero di nyo naman kailangan i-invoke to probably sa exams. No? Hindi ito. Sabihin natin, ganun ang tanong, no? Yung matanda, sinuntok ni A, namatay yung matanda kasi inatake sa puso. Your answer should be again and again, Article 4 na. No? Article 4. Wala naman tayo sinasabing efficient intervening cause. Sabi lang naman sa facts, yun, no? Sinuntok ni A, matanda, namatay yung matanda. What's your answer? Article 4 lang. And then, ang supporting legal basis mo doon, praeter intentionem, no? In praeter intentionem, no? The result exceeds the intent. No? In which case, the offender shall be liable for the result that was produced. Pag po ganun ang tanong, hindi nyo na kailangan i-define yung proximate cause at saka efficient intervening cause. O tatanungin natin, kailan nyo kailangan i-define yung proximate cause at saka efficient intervening cause? Kapag po yung tanong sa inyo, medyo nagpapakita o naghihint na kailangan gamitin mo yun. Paano? Sabihin natin yung doktor, no, ginagamot ng doktor, yung doktor nagkamali ng putol dun sa ugat, namatay, mga ganyan. Now, that's the time where you should state the definitions of proximate cause and efficient intervening cause. Pero pag wala po yung mga ganun, sabihin natin, gumaling ng injured person. Pero dahil sa komplikasyon, ng pagkaka-dextrose, pagkakadala sa ospital, nag-hypertension, na-stroke, namatay. Pag mga ganun yung tanong sa inyo, that's the time when you invoke yung proximate cause at saka efficient intervening cause. Pero pag straight lang yan, na sinuntok, ng pagkakasuntok, na-excite, na sinatake sa puso, no need. Ang ilalagay niyo na lang dyan, Article 4, Paragraph 1, and the meaning of praeter intention kung gusto niyo ng supporting legal basis, no? Yun lang. Hindi niyo po kailangan i-invoke yung mga proximate cause na yan. Okay? Tandaan niyo yun, ha? Pag may nagsadula ng istorya na gano'n, na Gumaling na, tapos na-infection yung sugat, mga ganyan. Dahil sa sugat na yun, na-infection, lumala ng lumala, na-paralyze yung half ng katawan. Yung mga ganyan. Okay. Yun yung time when you should invoke yung proximate cause at saka efficient intervening cause. O paano halimbawa, nung panahon ng pandemic, kung tatanungin kayo, di natin nagsuntukan si A sa si B. O di si B, basag-basag yung mukha, no? Dinala sa ospital. O ngayon, nung dinala sa ospital, doon na-infect si B ng COVID. Na-infect, syempre, maraming COVID patients sa ospital noong panahon ng pandemic, ng mga 2020, 2021. Ano ngayon na nangyari? Na-infect ng COVID, namatay. Complication is namatay sa komplikasyon no, ng pneumonia ng sa COVID, no, shortness of breath, etc. Patay, no, namatay. Tanong, will you invoke proximate cause at saka efficient intervening cause in that scenario? The answer is yes. Kasi the question is already hinting you na i-invoke mo yun. Kasi how to justify why or why not yung pagkakasuntok ni AKB ay dapat si A maging liable pa rin doon sa eventual death niya. You need to justify that. Ganun lang naman lagi eh. When you want to invoke something as your legal basis, yun dapat ang justification mo. Bakit ito ang sagot mo? Bakit mo sinasabi na si A liable for homicide? Justify legal basis. Kung hindi naman ganun yung mga tanong, why do you need to justify yourself saying yung proximate cause at saka efficient intervening? By the way, ang sagot doon, based on my analysis ha, dapat hindi na siya liable. Okay? Dapat hindi na siya liable. Why? Kasi efficient intervening cause na po yung pagkaka hawa niya no, ng COVID. Kasi pwede naman kunin kahit saan yun eh. And we cannot even rule, we cannot even conclude na nakuha niya yung sa ospital. Di ba? Kasi COVID-19 can be obtained, no? Can be obtained, pwedeng dumapo kahit saang lugar. Hindi kailangan sa ospital, di ba? Pwedeng dumapo yun nung on the way siya doon, di ba? Kung nagsasakyan o sa kapamilya niya sa bahay, may dala-dalang COVID sa bahay na hawahan siya and so on. Di natin alam, di ba? Therefore, that is an efficient intervening cause na it's an active force that intervene between the felony and the injury. What's the felony? Yung panununtok, so physical injury. Physical injuries. Ano yung injury nangyari? The death of B. And that active force, ano ba active force na yun? What is active force, no? Yun yung pagkakakuha niya ng COVID. No? That's the active force, no? Being diagnosed or being positive of COVID-19 virus. Diba? And that active force, yung pagkakakuha niya ng COVID, that is absolutely foreign from the felony. Kasi hindi naman po connected yan. Diba? As I said, bakit di sila connected? Kasi COVID-19 virus can be obtained, can be transmitted anywhere in the Philippines. Di ba? Pwede nag-CR sa public restroom sa mall. 2021, pwede nang mag-mall nun eh. If I can recall correctly. Oh. Nahawa sa mall o nag-grocery, doon nahawa sa grocery. Di ba? That is absolutely foreign from the felony. Kaya yung eventual death ni B, hindi dapat maging liability ni A. So, ang liability lang dapat ni A, physical injuries lang. But then again, kaya ako nasabi yun, kaya ako sinabi yun, no? Kasi gusto ko lang maipakita sa inyo kung kailan nyo i-invoke tong proximate at saka efficient na ito, kahaba-haba ng mga definitions. You only use that if the facts are hinting you, no, are hinting you to use them. Okay? Kung pinapakita yung mga ganyan na parang bigla na lang namatay, dapat hindi. Mga ganun. Sinuntok lang naman namatay. Ganun. Saan mo? Sinuntok lang naman, naka-recover na, tapos saka namatay. Saka mo gamitin yan. Pero yan lagi proximate cause na yan at saka efficient intervening. You do not, hindi mo kailangang i-invoke yung proximate cause kung hindi naman gagamitin efficient intervening cause dun sa facts, sa question. No? Kasi kaya mo na-justify yung sagot mo, you can already completely answer a question just by invoking Article 4, Paragraph 1. And then, ang secondary basis mo doon, define pater intentionem. Di ba? Okay, so, ayan, no? Let's move to impossible crimes. No? Article 4, Paragraph 2 naman tayo. No? sa bar exam, interchange yan, interchange. Either ang tinatanong sa ibang bar, yung Article 4, number 1, or minsan tinatanong yung Article 4, number 2. Pero either way, tinatanong lagi. Tinatanong lagi Article 4 every year. So, kailangan master niya talaga. So, ulit-ulit, no? What is impossible crime? Criminal liability is incurred by any person who performs an act. Ang kailangan na, ang gusto kong matandaan niyo na word dito, which would be. Yan ang kailangan dyan. Which would be an offense against persons or property, if not for the inherent impossibility of its accomplishment or on account of the employment of ineffectual or inadequate means. Okay? So, dagdagan na natin ulit, no? Sabi ng case law to, no? Sabi ng jurisprudence, the act must be done with evil intent and the act performed should not constitute a violation of another provision of the revised penal code. Otherwise, it's an actual crime. Lagyan natin dito, other requisites provided by jurisprudence. Ayan, tapos i-tab natin. Okay, ayan, ganyan na. Criminal liability is incurred by any person who performs an act. Tandaan nyo, hindi performs a crime, ha? Performs an act. Ang kailangan nating word dito yung would. Kasi pag sinabi mong which was, actually crime yun. Pero pag sinabi mong would, impossible crime. Kasi ang ibig mo sabihin ng which would, dapat naging offense yan against, di ba? Ito isang tao, ito ay na-incur, no, na isang tao, no, na nag-perform ng isang act na dapat ay isang offense against person or property. Kung hindi lang inherently impossible yung accomplishment ng crime, no, or nag-employ po yung tao ng inadequate, hindi enough, or ineffectual, hindi effective na pamamaraan, means. Ganun ang pag-intindi, no? So, kailangan nyo tandaan yung would na yan. Yan ang ibobol ko dito. No? Which would be an offense against persons or property. Now, this is the first element. Second element, inherent impossibility. Itong buo na to, second element yan. Or on account of inadequate or ineffectual means. No? Tapos third element dyan, itong evil intent, no? Fourth element, not a violation of any other provision under the revised penal code. Okay? Okay, crimes against persons tayo, yun nga, parricide, murder, homicide. Parricide nga, pag pumatay ng asawa, ng anak, ng magulang, yung mga yan. No? Murder, treachery ang normally na qualifying circumstance dyan, saka evident premeditation. Homicide, mere killing. No? Infanticide, pumatay ng less than 3-day-old na bata. No? Abortion, sa loob pa ng tiyan, pinatay. Duel, okay na yan. No? Duelo. Physical injuries, you get this. Rape, okay. Crimes against property, robbery, brigandage, theft. No? Ang kailangan lang normally dyan na ginagamit, robbery, theft. Ito minsan tinanong to ng bar, no? Petty usurpation of real rights yan. O real property. Yun. Kailangan lang dyan sa crimes against property na ginagamit, robbery, theft, swindling, arson, saka yun lang ang ginagamit dyan normally. Saka malicious mischief. Yan lang. Yan lang ang ginagamit dyan normally. Ay, theft saka robbery. Okay. So, examples, no? We need to differentiate po yung inherent impossibility of its accomplishment, inadequate, saka ineffectual. Bibigyan ko kayo ng illustration for each of them, no? Para makita nyo at para maalala nyo kayo na tatlo yung words dyan na kailangan nyo tandaan. Impossible, inadequate, ineffectual. Okay? A shot B. Persons muna to, no? Persons. A shot B, not knowing that B is already dead 3 hours before. There is impossibility, inherent impossibility in this case. It's not possible for him to kill a person who's already dead 3 hours ago. Diba? So, inherent impossibility. Okay, next tayo. A with intent to gain took a watch from B's pocket. However, it was later revealed that such watch was actually owned by by A, that he lost a week before. Ulitin natin, A with intent to gain took a watch from B's pocket. However, it was later revealed that such watch was actually owned by A, that he lost a week before. There is legal impossibility in this case. No? Hindi physical impossibility kasi nga nakuha po niya eh. Diba? Ito kasi physical and legal kasi physically hindi mo na pwedeng patayin yung taong patay. Legal impossibility rin kasi you cannot kill a person that the law considers as dead already. Diba? There's no civil personality. Diba? Meanwhile sa property na to, hindi po physically impossible. Physically possible, nakuha niya eh. Pero it's legally impossible because he actually owned the watch. So it's legally impossible for him to take something or to steal something that he owns. Okay? O, next tayo nasa impossibility tapos na. O, ineffectual naman tayo saka inadequate. A tried to kill B by putting poison in his drink. It was later revealed that it was actually rock salt and not poison. O, anong tawag doon? There is employment of ineffectual means. Further, pwede rin pala. Further, there is physical impossibility naman. Diba? So, ineffectual means po, walang effect yun, mga effect. Kahit gano'ng kadami rock salt ang ilagay mo, hindi mamamatay yan. Okay? Further, there is also physical impossibility. What's the physical impossibility? Yung physical substance, di ba? Yung actual mixture ng rock salt na hindi naman nakakamatay, edible yan, di ba? That's ineffectual saka physical impossibility. Last naman, A intended to kill B by poisoning his drink. However, A put an amount so small that no person may be poisoned from it. Naglagay ng poison, baka isang patak lang naman, di ba? So, hindi na effect. Naglagay ng rat poison doon sa drink, rat killer. Isang buti lang naman nilagay. Hindi mamamatay dyan, di ba? There is employment of inadequate means naman. Pwede rin natin sabihin na physical impossibility rin, di ba? Pero now you can see the difference. Ito, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin yung ineffectual saka inadequate dito. Sa pinatay ni AC, binaril ni ACB, shot that NB was already dead 3 hours before. Kasi may effective yun eh. Binaril eh. Effective yun, nakakapatay ng tao. Hindi rin sa inadequate. Barrel naman yung ginamit. It's also adequate. It's effective. It's effective and it's adequate. However, it's impossible. Ganyan dapat ng pag-imay. Ulitin ko na naman, di ba? Kailangan curious kayo sa binabasa nyo, hindi yung casual. You need to, lalo na yung mga ganito, mga peculiar na mga words, hindi mo naman makikita lagi word na inherent impossibility sa lahat ng provisions eh. That's your signal to illustrate it. How can I illustrate inherent impossibility in a set of facts? Pati inadequate saka ineffectual, hindi po palagi may ganyan. How can I illustrate this? Okay? How can I illustrate this? Okay, like yan, no? Physically impossible, legally impossible pa. O next, ito naman, legally impossible. Ito bang A na to, pag nanakaw ni AKB? Effective, nakuha yung relo eh. So, effective means adequate din kasi nakuha. Diba? Nakuha eh. It's just that it's inherently impossible because it is legally impossible to steal someone that you own. To steal something that you own. Okay? So, ito namang sa persons, ineffectual na to, persons ulit na example, persons ineffectual saka physically impossible. And then inadequate din at saka physically impossible din. Okay? Sana nakikita nyo, no? See the difference? So, based on our examples, parang it seems na pag ineffectual, impossible din. Pag inadequate, impossible din. Pero pag sinabi mong impossible, not always ineffective or inadequate. Okay, so parang impossible, if there is inadequacy, there is ineffectivity, there is always impossibility. But when you say impossibility, hindi palagi may inadequacy saka may ineffectivity. See, that's how you should analyze. O ngayon, yung sinabi ko na yun, baka may maisip kayo, no? Na hindi dapat impossible, ineffective, di ba? Dapat impossible, inadequate, ineffective palagi. Kayo na bahala. Pero based on my understanding yan, no? When you say impossible, not always ineffective, inadequate. But when you say ineffective, when you say inadequate, always impossible. Okay? Sige.